Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, wanted to devote a quick day here to looking at our club's finances, which look really weird. So, despite the fact that I had to retire as manager and then come back onto the same team, we're still able to take a full look at the finances of the club. It's interesting because nothing really changed. So the mistake I think that I made here right before leaving the team was convincing the owners to upgrade our facilities, which we have done, by the way. The training facilities, if we can look at them here, are now basic training facilities as opposed to poor training facilities. But we do have poor youth facilities, right? There's not much else we could do with the money because we don't have anywhere to put it, right? So we might as well invest in something. It's not like any of the players are really taking advantage of that here. We had up to 80,000 euros here for a little while, and then it dropped straight on down. And then we've been able to pull up afterwards for a little while. We have no debts. We do have these sponsors, and here's the projection. The future projection actually is going negative. I wonder why that is. I wonder where this loss is supposedly coming from. So I'm not sure if that's expenditure for trying to keep this up or if that's going to come from tax or whatever. When we look here at the expenditure here over time, you can see that there was this like sudden big jump in expenditure. In fact, is there a way to click on this? Apparently there's not. A lot of that expenditure came here from what they're calling ground maintenance. So, I mean, perhaps that was part of it. I don't really understand. Oh, yeah, it's amount of money spent up on upkeep of the ground and training facilities. That's where it's coming from. It is coming from better training facilities. That's where it all went. That may have been a mistake. It may have been the sort of thing that we probably didn't want to do. I do know that we paid a lot of money in tax, but it's not showing up here for whatever reason. So it might also be the case that the game didn't really know how to report this right, because, I mean, it told me that we spent like 40,000 something euros in tax. And that's one of the problems that we have. It's not a major problem. Again, I mean, we're not going to see our financial status go into the negative anytime soon, especially if we continue to win, because we'll just get more money from sponsors. In terms of income, though, it's pretty predictable. I mean, most of it comes from match day income, right? The reason why we have match day income is because we play matches. And so for these periods where we don't have matches, there is no income. We are able, because of all of the friendlies I schedule, to make money and sort of kind of smooth out that curve, but it's also not quite as good as we would like it to be. Let's see, we'll organize it by this. The other thing that we have here, of course, are these gate receipts, which are basically the same thing as match day income. In fact, when we look at this together, it won't let me show both. There we go. You can see that they track one another very, very nicely. We might want to consider raising the price of tickets, but you can't do that in Football Manager. Sponsorship comes in haphazardly. Then we have fundraising and a bunch of other stuff, merchandising and so on. I would expect merchandising to go up because we have so many players from other countries. But then again, we're so obscure that it's probably not going to happen. We have season tickets. We have 67 season ticket holders, which is the same as last season. That's not really going to go anywhere. Now, we've been doing well at attracting more people than that to come to our matches, but we'll see if that holds up or not. That last draw with Viola Tongan is a little bit frustrating. Yeah, you can see average ticket price is €3. Only €9 for a average season ticket, so surprised that more people don't really want to be a part of that. Just looking through this, yeah, you can see our history. We've gone straight downhill, and that was all under my tenure. So we're hoping to do a little bit better here. Toa Maele has 30 goals in a single season. Right now, we actually have two players who have 3 goals so far this season. So we'll see if we can get that pulled back up and out. Anyway, that's kind of what the finances look like here when you get into amateur world. There's really not a whole bunch of places where we can get money. There's no TV revenue. There's not going to be any players sold. There's no prize money. It's just all based upon like what little you can eke out here and there. And I've learned the lesson, which is you have to make sure that you know exactly what it is that you want before you go out to get it. We don't really want professional status. What we really would like is to increase the junior coaching budget and increase the amount of money that we're giving to helping players through the pipeline so that we can hopefully have more players come in that don't have huge inconsistency issues and other problems like that. Another thing people always tell you to do is to go change your head of youth development, which I did at the beginning of the season since I came in as a new manager. And so we got this guy, Sonny Viali, who's professional. You always want somebody who's high in professionalism, ideally a model citizen, but we're not going to find that in American Samoa. Because if you can find somebody who's like that, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to develop players who also have high levels of professionalism naturally. So that's the thing that you want to do there with your finances. Really, honestly, for us, I mean, we're not going to build a new stadium. It's ridiculous, right? Because these are all shared stadiums. What we really want is to improve anything that has anything to do with the youth, right? So we want to improve youth recruitment. We want to improve the youth coaching budget. We want anything that we can do that will help the youth along. That will give us that competitive advantage, but it's probably not going to happen. And yeah, I have no idea why our transfer budget is minus €245. I think that has something to do with the fact that the save and the game started glitching out. There's some sort of problem somewhere deep inside a Football Manager. Don't ask me. I'm not going to hack through it and figure it out. So there you go. There's the financial issue, and we'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye.